If you're in Nigeria and you're presently running a business, I always say you deserve an award because it is definitely not easy to run a business in Nigeria. The economy is very volatile and unpredictable. So, having run a fashion business for the past 10 years, I think I've learned a few things that I can share about my journey so far. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing things from the operations side to hiring to branding. I'm just going to share with you some of the key things that have helped me in 10 years of running a successful Nigerian business that not only caters to Nigeria but globally. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the key areas where I felt has made the most difference in my business for the past 10 years. Having run my business for the past 10 years has helped me to see trends. It's helped me to see what has worked, what hasn't worked. I've failed, I've succeeded. Everything has helped me to become a better entrepreneur. So I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 key areas that have defined or have made the most impact for me in my journey as an entrepreneur. The very first is on hiring. There's only so much you can do, and the people that you choose on your team will determine how far your business will go. It's so important to actually hire the right people, people that are smart, people that are team players, people that can help you carry the vision of your company. I can't overemphasize that your success is highly, hugely dependent on the people that you have on your team. The second lesson is on data analysis. So, data sometimes can seem complicated to small business owners because it's like there's so much information that you need to get. But I'll say this, your data has to make sense to you. It's not about what you think you should have, it's about the information that will help you make key strategic decisions in your business. So, how you collect that data is as important as the data itself. I use Google Sheets to collect most of the data that I have. There are other tools that can be used, but Google Sheets is free, it's easy to use. If you know how to use Excel, then you know how to use Google Sheets. And the most important thing for me about Google Sheets is that it's on the cloud, meaning that it's easily accessible. Also, what you're putting in matters. If you put garbage in, then you're going to get garbage out. Your data has to make sense to you. It's not about what other people are doing, it's about what are the key metrics that you need to track for your business. And it will differ from business to business. For instance, for my business, inventory is a huge part of my business. So I need to collect data on the different types of inventories. We have inventories of unfinished goods, raw materials like tailoring, accessories, fabric, and so on. There's also data on the inventory of finished goods like the clothes that we sell in the store, the ones that we have in stock, the ones we have on the production floor. So depending on what business you're running, you're going to need different types of data, from your sales data to your data even on your marketing tactics, to know what's working, to know what's not working. So that data is largely dependent on the type of business that you're running and the key metrics that you need to use to track your business. It's important that the data you're collecting is consistent, it's accurate, and it is complete. My next point is on experimentation. So, when you first start your business, you might not be exactly sure what is going to cause growth or what's going to do well. And this is where experimentation comes in. Experimentation allows you to try different things in your business. It could be the product categories, it could be the product styles, it could be your service styles as well. I would say that it's very important to experiment. I would say give about 20% of your service slash products to experimentation so that you can see what sticks and what doesn't stick. It's also important to understand that there's a certain level or amount of risk that's involved with experimentation. With experimentation, you don't have to win with every experiment you try. Just look at it as a learning phase or a learning tool. So, for instance, you might launch a style that people aren't necessarily that you're not sure will do well, but your goal in that instance is to see how well people respond to it, is to take the feedback and use it to create an even better product or an even better service. My next lesson is on financial management. This part is so important. As a business owner, you might fall into the temptation of not wanting to pay yourself a livable wage. And it's because you probably want the business to do well, you want to reinvest the funds. But I think it's really, really important for you to pay yourself a livable wage and then some. It's important that you take pride in yourself as a business owner and as a skilled person. So whatever value or input that you're putting into your business needs to be valued, and it's okay to delay payment, or it's okay for your company to owe you and maybe pay you at a later date. But it's so, so important that you have a certain fee that is assigned for your own salary. It's important that you don't mix business finances and your personal finances together. The next lesson is on seeking professional help. It's so important for you to have advisors, to have people who have walked the talk giving you advice. There's also nothing wrong in paying a personal coach or a consultant or a strategist. I understand that there are many people that are presenting themselves to be what they're not. So make sure that when you're seeking professional help, you try to get as many referrals as possible. So if it's someone you find on social media, try to track down people who have used their services and get like a candid feedback before you approach them. But I'm telling you that I've used professional services at different points in my business and it has helped. And professional service ranges from anywhere from like customer service to like sales or to like marketing. So there are professionals in different areas of your business that you can seek out their help, whether it's paid or it's free. It's important to always have that in mind when you're running your business, that you don't have all the knowledge, you don't have all the expertise, but there are people out there that will either charge you for you to get their knowledge on something or will do it because they like you and they want to help you. My next lesson is on networking. Every time people think of networking, they always think of like networking with people that can be potential mentors. But the thing is, potential mentors because they've reached like a certain height in their business, and that's great. Like you should always find people who have, gone ahead of you in your career or in your with your ambitions. But also, do not underestimate the power of networking with peers because they know exactly what you're going through and they will probably even have unique insights to what you're going through, and they'll be able to meet you at that level that you need to be met. It's so important that when you go out for events, you're not just looking for the speakers, you're also talking to the attendees, you're talking to the person that's sitting beside you, you're making sure that you're building up your own network. Because I remember when I was still an intern, a lot of the people that I interned with back in the day, they're all doing so well now. Because see, anytime you go to events like that, be assured that people there are serious people and they probably want the same things that you want. And when you find people like that, it's very rare that they won't go far in life. So it's so important for you to build your network of people so that every one of you is growing together and in some way you can help each other out in the future or even in the present. Having a network with peers will give you the necessary moral support that you need when you need to reach out for help or you need to collaborate. It's so important to have a roster of people that understand exactly what you're going through. My next lesson is on branding. So, branding has been a very, very key part of the success I've had with Lady Biba because very early on I was quite sure of where like what the brand was, and that helped me with like marketing, it helped me with communications. Every successful company that I know that is doing like great things, think of Nike, think of Apple, these brands are brands that have a huge following. And these brands are brands that evoke a certain emotion when you think about it. When you think of Nike, you're thinking of performance, you're thinking of, out of the box innovation. When you're thinking of Apple, you're thinking of leaders, you're thinking of, the the early adopters, the leaders of the pack, the people that, the cool kids, basically. So every every business is not a brand. You could be selling clothes, but it doesn't mean that you have a brand. You have a brand when you can ask five different people in different places what they think or features of your brand, and they're saying similar things. So a brand is made when you can evoke a certain feeling out of someone when they think of your name. So your brand is more than a logo, it's more than your packaging. It's about the feeling that's tied when you mention the name of your brand. So early on, you should be thinking about branding. Your branding should inform your communication, it should inform your marketing, it should inform the decisions you make about your business. The next lesson is on work life balance. A lot of people say it's impossible to get work life balance. And I quite agree, because there's no way to act adequately, like make sure that every aspect of your business is in equilibrium with every aspect outside of your business. Like, it's not possible. Like, to even actively be doing that is even going to take away from you. So what you just need to make sure is that you have a life outside of your business. Make sure that you have hobbies. Make sure that your entire identity is not tied to your brand. Make sure you have things that you're doing outside of work that gives you joy. You know, whether it's cooking, it's writing, it's dancing, it's some form of sports. Make sure that you have things that your life doesn't necessarily re, revolve around that the work that you do. It will give you a more healthy work life, and it will just make you a happier entrepreneur. The next lesson is on self-care. So I know that self-care is a word that you probably heard like a million times, but it's so important to pay attention to what self-care means to you. So for some people, self-care is, taking a walk, going to the spa. Some people is just watching Netflix. What makes you feel relaxed? What makes you feel at ease? Pay attention to those things and make sure that you're feeding that side of yourself. I believe that self-care is very much about the parts of yourself that people cannot see. So it's important to nurture that inner self. If it means like doing yoga or meditating or having a journal where you're just, writing out your feelings, you have to pay attention to that inner self and make sure that you're taking care of your inner self. And the last lesson is on team recognition. I feel that this one is even something I'm learning or I'm improving more of on recently, because it's so important that your team members feel valued. It's important for them to know that you appreciate the efforts that they're putting into your business. It's also important to celebrate wins, like when your company reaches a milestone or when something significant happens as an anniversary or whatever. Make sure that you're marking those moments with your team. No. And make sure that you're acknowledging their efforts publicly. Like, for instance, if you have a particular team member that's doing extremely well, make sure that you're acknowledging their wins, not just privately, but in front of the other team members as well, as this can encourage other people to step up. And it also just makes them feel good that whatever work they're putting is being seen, it's being acknowledged, and it's being rewarded. So, those are my 10 lessons on 10 years of running a business. It definitely hasn't been easy running a business for the past 10 years, but I intend to be here for not just now, but for a long time. So, I intend to be here for a long time. And this channel really is going to be my tool to share my journey. I can't even imagine what the next decade for Lady Reba is going to look like. But if you're on this YouTube channel, rest assured that I'm going to be sharing that journey with you. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you give this video a thumbs up if you like this content, and you comment, you share to your friends, and all the good stuff. I'll see you in my next video.